A Toledo man is now facing charges in the murder of a Cleveland woman that disappeared nearly 30 years ago. The suspect is in court today. We learn more about his time in Toledo. Plus, the head of Farm Labor Organizing Committee in Toledo sits down with the mayor to talk about undocumented workers, how the city is preparing if mass deportation were to happen here.
A little milder, but still breezy. Highs say did reach toward 40 degrees. Should stay at or above freezing much of the night tonight, but winds, they're still going to be gusty. What to expect as we roll into your Wednesday. That forecast coming up after this.
Thanks for joining us on WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Marantet. Let's look at your top stories for this Tuesday night. President Donald Trump signed an executive order that could potentially impact everything from higher education to small businesses. The Office of Management and Budget is directing federal agencies to assess compliance with President Trump's priorities. The freeze memo specifically mentions financial assistance for foreign aid, what it calls woke gender ideology, and the Green New Deal, except a federal judge blocked the order for federal grants just minutes before it was set to take effect tonight. Locally, the city of Toledo is bracing for the funding pause. City Council President Carrie Hartman said Toledo has relied on federal grants for things like replacing lead water pipes, improving the metro parks, and fighting gun violence. There's also concern about money that has been awarded but not spent, including the millions of dollars received to improve the Junction neighborhood and East Toledo. The temporary freeze on the president's executive order is in effect until Monday. We'll continue to bring you the latest. Turning to President Trump's immigration efforts, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has conducted raids throughout major cities in the country. There are no recent known raids in Toledo, but the city is preparing for it. Megan Hartnett has the latest.
It's not a question of if, but when. Valdemar Velasquez, president of the Farm Labor Organizing Committee, says now is the time for people to start preparing for encounters with Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Border Patrol.
I think that we have to be very observant and vigilant.
The Seneca County Sheriff's Office confirmed it currently has 45 inmates in their jail brought to them by ICE. With an estimated 12 to 13,000 people lacking permanent legal status in Toledo alone, Velasquez says preparations need to begin.
You have a immigration official that says you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, you got to know exactly what your rights are.
Velasquez says people are not required to divulge information, and if someone is detained, they are entitled to a lawyer. He says anyone who is detained has the right to due process, but hundreds or thousands of people being put through the legal system will back up courts. He says Border Patrol does not have a right to do traffic stops or detain people for traffic violations. Velasquez says he met with Mayor Wade Kapsakavich today to discuss the federal and local laws and what impacts deportations could have on the area.
What does that do to our tax base? Because they all pay taxes. What does that do to employers, the need for laborers? What does that do for the crisis of divided families?
Velasquez says with a shortage of agriculture workers nationally, food prices are already high and could continue to climb.
A Toledo man charged in the 1997 cold case murder of a Cleveland woman pleaded not guilty at his arraignment today. 50-year-old Michael Bukowski is charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, and other felonies related to the disappearance and presumed death of 26-year-old Catherine Parisi. He was arrested by Toledo police last week. His attorney says Bukowski is a team leader at Toledo's Jeep plant. 11 Investigates also learned that he previously worked as a bartender at JoJo's Original Pizzeria on Monroe Street years ago. His attorney argued for a lower bond, saying he is diabetic with heart problems and is on 12 medications. The state argued the bond should be $1 million, saying he sexually assaulted a girl as a juvenile and lied about knowing Parisi.
He has known since 2 days after Catherine Parisi disappeared that he was a potential suspect in this case. He has always denied knowing Kathy. He has always denied having contact with her. And although he has known he was a suspect, what he has not known for the last 28 years is that we now have forensic evidence conclusively linking him to Catherine Parisi.
A Cuyahoga County Common Pleas judge set his bond at $500,000. He was ordered to have no contact with the victim's family and is due back in court February 18th. Still no word on when construction of the new Lenawee County Jail will start back up. Lucas County Commissioner's annual meeting was held today where they talked about the jail's future. Construction ended up being put on hold this past summer. WTOL 11 spoke with Pete Gherkin. Then he told the pause was due to the facility being over budget and high interest rates. At the meeting today, commissioners paused unanimously to extend the existing contract with Lathrop with a guaranteed price until October 2025. That price is at $290 million. Commissioners say they are waiting for interest rates to drop and are working on a jail plan within their budget, taking a look at if they can make any cuts to bring down the price.
But it takes a process. So just because we're talking about things today doesn't mean that you're going to start seeing vertical tomorrow. That's going to be a number of months down the road. We still have the funding sources that we're looking for to be able to fund the jail, and I think that we're going to be there really, really soon.
Commissioners say it's not clear when construction will start again at the facility, which is just a few blocks away from the current jail. Also discussed at the meeting today was the Toledo Lucas County Library system. The library intends to sell its own so it can start paying for improvements to different libraries, like rebuilding the Washington branch. There is a community meeting Thursday, February 6th to discuss plans for the new building. The library system is also working on creating a White House branch. Earlier tonight, rescue crews saved 4 ice fishers off the coast of Catawba State Park. According to a natural resource officer on scene, 4 ice fishermen were stuck on an ice floe. The Coast Guard, they were able to rescue all 4 of the individuals on an airboat. First responders from the Port Clinton Fire Department say all 4 are expected to be okay. And Chris, I know you've been talking about the dangers of ice right now with the wind and changing temperatures.
Yeah, exactly right. Kaylee gave that warning last week. We said, hey, conditions just downright aren't going to be favorable or just dangerous to be out there ice fishing. And here we go, that ice flow danger. It still is going to continue tonight through Wednesday with gusty southwest or west to northwest winds that could reach up to 40 miles per hour. So heads up, we're not out of the risk yet at this point. Now, I did capture it earlier today. Yeah, I know it's way off of the distance there, but an active ice flow that did occur. This was from the Catawba Island camera. Moving at about 5 to maybe 10 feet every 30 seconds or so. So that ice flow was actively moving at a fairly quick, rapid pace. Did get some satellite imagery. This was yesterday on Monday. We were actually able to see cracks from outer space on the Lake Erie shores, which indicated, yes, with the gusty winds, we fully expected ice flows to be happening. You got to be smart. You got to use your wits about yourself if you're going to be out there, and make sure you do so safely. We do have clouds that are going to be partly cloudy tonight, dry weather most of the night tonight. There is a system that's clipping through the UP and into northern Michigan that will spread a chance of a few snow showers close to tomorrow morning. As we're right around the freezing mark, I don't expect it's going to be anything widespread. In fact, many areas could hover right around or just above freezing. Upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Bus stop forecast tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy skies, breezy. I'll mention a flurry or two. I don't anticipate it's going to cause any travel issues. Mid 30s with gusty winds if it's outdoor recess tomorrow. Winds could gust 30 to 35 miles per hour, then reaching into the upper 30s after school. Next up, our next storm system of impact, it is going to be on Friday. Rain is going to work into the area. Some steadier and soaking rain showers that will last much of the day Friday, even into Friday evening. Could be over ½ an inch of total rainfall as that system drifts into the area, exiting through Saturday morning. So we do likely dry out into the upcoming weekend, both Saturday and into Sunday. So weekend forecast, a little cooler on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies, right around the lower 30s, back into the low 40s on Sunday. Should be the warmer of the 2 weekend days if you're kind of trying to size up those outdoor plans at all for the upcoming weekend. What to expect as we get into the day tomorrow, fairly even with the temperatures, right around the low to mid 30s first thing out the door, mid to upper 30s and winds that will be gusty through the afternoon, taking us again back above freezing. Upper 30s is what we're going to go for on Wednesday. Gusty breeze, low 40s on Thursday. It will be a much brighter day Thursday. More sun rolls back into the area, and then on Friday we get hit with rain. Steady soaking showers. Could be ½ an inch of rain that will be possible, lower 40s. Little step back on Saturday, low 30s, then right back into the low 40s on Sunday. So we sort of zigzag back and forth with temperatures as we go through and into early February. We'll even out Monday into Tuesday of next week, right around the low to mid 30s. Should be fairly quiet Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And here it is. The first full week of February is already in sight. Still no active snowstorms. And out there toward Thursday, Friday of next week, that could be a rain-snow mix with a system that is still the better part of about 10 days away. That's a look at our 10-day forecast. Kaylee, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. We are waiting to learn more about what caused a fire at a recycling facility between LaGrange and Detroit in Toledo this afternoon. This is on the border of North and Central Toledo. Roads in the area will be closed for approximately another 3 to 5 hours. It appears much of the fire has been put out. Police crews on the scene initially told our crews that smoke from the fire may have been toxic. It's not clear how this fire started or if anyone was inside the facility or injured from the fire. We will continue to work to learn more details and bring you the latest updates on WTOL 11 at 11. Imagination Station has been closed for 6 days now following a break in a water main that happened last week. The city of Toledo discovered a leak in the private water line. The building sustained damage on the first and second floors along with an outdoor patio space. Since the incident, Imagination Station has placed fans to dry out the affected areas. The Science Center will be closed until the repairs are finished, but there is no date on that yet.
You know, the city's been really great as we've been going through this. We've talked every day, you know, and going through a bid process, getting everything, understanding it. I think they are also understanding time is, it's an emergency for them too, but there is identifying who can do the work and what needs to be done.
Programs and outreach done by Imagination Station will not be affected and will continue as normal. The Toledo City Council approved the 2025 budget this afternoon. According to those with City Council, they unanimously approved the approximately $1 billion adopted operating and capital budgets proposal. One of the several amendments passed would increase Toledo's police class of cadets from 30 to 45. The biggest amendment, an additional $1 million for the city's youth programming budget. We have a full breakdown of the budget on our website. Adrian Public Schools is looking to build a state-of-the-art indoor community recreational facility, but the project needs approval from taxpayers. Silver Barker spoke with the superintendent and has more details tonight.
At Adrian Public Schools, there's a growing participation in sports and recreation programs, but limited space to do it.
For example, our cheerleading team right now finally found their own spot they can go, but it's across town somewhere, which works out okay, but obviously not ideal. We're putting kids on the road, and we've got a few other scenarios like that as well.
That is why Superintendent of Adrian Public Schools, Nate Parker, says the district wants to place an indoor sports facility within schools' grounds.
Facility the marching band could use to practice in. You know, we hosted band camp here last year. It was 95 degrees. It would have been a good spot for them to come in and use during those times.
A project Parker predicts would cost between $17 to $27 million and take longer than a year to build if approved by citizens on November's ballot.
You know, we look at this having a walking track. We see half of it being turf, but the other half being hard courts where you could have volleyball, basketball, pickleball, tennis, volleyball, all of the above.
He says citizens are one of the main reasons why they want to build this after receiving feedback from residents wanting a facility that welcomes both students and the community.
This is a want. You know, you could see it as a need because we need spaces in the community where our residents can walk. It's, you know, in walking distance for some of our kids and that kind of stuff.
Cindy Gippert, an Adrian High School alumna, says there's not a lot of places where young people can currently go.
Anything that's going to improve, you know, them having a place to be active, exercise, and other activities that they might be having within the community, I'm all for it.
Reporting in Adrian, Michigan, Silver Barker, WTOL 11.
Michigan Senator Gary Peters says he won't be running again in 2026. Among the top names expected to replace Peters is former U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who moved to Michigan in recent years. A multi-Grammy award-winning band, Train, is coming to Toledo. The band will perform at the Toledo Zoo Amphitheater this summer. According to a press release, Train will perform on August 5th as part of their North American summer tour. The band is famous for their top songs, Hey Soul Sister and Drops of Jupiter. Tickets go on sale this Friday, January 31st at 10 a.m. We have more information on our website on how you can get tickets.